Delta 8 is it's like this is legal in Texas. This is.
Okay.
We have weed that's legal in Texas, but it's called Delta 8. I don't know what it still gets you high. It's just not as potent. So that's why I was like, oh, it won't be so bad.
It's basically not THC until it gets into your body and it converts to THC. That's why it's legal to possess.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Really?
I don't know, some weird science shit.
Texas laws are fun.
Yeah. We can talk about that. Are we recording?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Look at that. Welcome to the mess hall, everybody. Oh, wait. Same time. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the mess hall.
Look at that.
That was messy.
You know me, Andrew Youngblood. That's Jamie Rowan. And we have our guest today.
May Plannert. Hi,
Look at that.
everybody.
We just paused and we say nothing right afterwards. No,
Great.
thanks for coming.
Welcome to Texas.
Literally just got here. Like, we just walked in with the suitcase 10
Yes,
minutes ago. So
I
that's
did.
exciting. And you're recording. You're not recording here, but you're running your 30.
I am.
That's exciting.
Yes.
Are you
Running my 30th
nervous?
secret group. Yeah. I want to die.
Yeah. It's
I
terrifying.
can't believe I signed up for this. To be
It's going to
honest
get
with you.
worse.
I know.
Yeah.
It's gonna get so much worse, and then when it actually releases on YouTube, I'm going to. What am I gonna do? Shave my head and move to a nudist colony? Like,
I'll tell you
can't-
exactly what you do. You're going to read every comment and eat too much. That's what I did. I've just been eating. I've gained 10 pounds in like 2.5 weeks. I've
I
just
do
been
feel
eating.
like I read all of the comments, and you claimed that you didn't read any of the comments in the comment section.
What?
I feel
No,
like you
you
claimed
read it
you
wrong.
didn't
No.
read any
I
of the
commented
comments.
on all the negative ones. I responded back.
That's the
What was
worst thing you could do.
What was the worst thing you got?
Well, there was one that was just like eloquently written,
Ooh.
and so I was like, "Damn, dude! Like, I wanted you to be retarded. Like,
Yeah,
if you're like, this guy's fat and gay and he ain't funny, I'm like, okay, cool. I don't give a shit. But this guy was like, I really want it. It was something. God, it's sad.
Oh, no. Don't read it.
Oh, it's screenshot.
He has it as the background on his phone.
No, but it's something along the lines of like this. I really wanted to I'll tell you this. I went in with high hopes, but it fell flat. And then it just kept. I'm like, dude, this is like a shitty movie review, and I'm like, But there wasn't that many until I went to Reddit.
Oh my God, Reddit's
I shouldn't have gone to Reddit.
brutal.
I googled my name in Reddit, and the special got posted in 3 different places. One I posted, that one nothing but great stuff. Another one someone else posted, mostly good stuff, and then one post that was just brutal. It was just everyone being mean, and I was like, I can't even look at this. So that I stopped getting on Reddit after that. I deleted the app and then re-downloaded it and checked it later.
That's the only community that likes me for some reason.
Really? Oh wow.
You,
Good for you.
You're
You might be the
fucking,
only
Reddit
person.
loves me. I don't
You
know.
got a body built for Reddit.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what you look like.
They think I'm an
Can you
admin.
please put up a photo of yourself in this moment?
They think I'm an admin.
Yeah, dude, you do look like that.
Isn't
And you're
the
producing a
internet,
podcast.
like-
Not that different.
Just a beautiful place. I feel like the internet, this podcast
No.
has made me realize that people absolutely hate me, and they really hate my feet.
Oh, your
Yeah, yeah.
feet. What's wrong with your feet?
I once showed
We have
my
a
feet.
foot segment where she like the,
I was just hoping to make us a little extra money. I showed my feet, and the internet was like a resounding no.
I was wonderful.
Stop.
It was funny.
A
They're like, ew,
resounding-
that's plantar phytosis.
Yeah, I got
They're like
accused of-
doctors telling her what's wrong with her feet.
So I don't know if I told you this, but I literally did go to a podiatrist after that because I thought they were great, and I was like, "Is
That's
something
so
wrong?"
funny. The
And they
internet
were-
shamed you into going to the doctors.
And the lady told me, by the way, doctor approved feet. So I just want everyone to know.
Yeah, but what does that mean? They're like technically, there's nothing wrong with them.
In fact, it
They're
was
just ugly.
from a medical
You're just
standpoint.
disgusting.
no. In fact, it was a Jewish lady, and she was
Oh,
like,
that's
"Oh,
a good
you're." She was
doctor.
like, "You're Jewish." She's like, "Oh, I should set you up with like da da da." So like, my feet are worthy of being set up with
Wow.
her Jewish young single eligible bachelor.
She wanted procreation with these feet.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that's
Pretty good.
special.
She wanted that in
so
her
internet,
foot line.
fuck you.
Yeah, they hated your feet, and I get it. But no, they seemed fine. I'm not a foot person at all.
I don't. I think
I've
it's
never
way
been-
overblown.
It surprises me how many people are into feet. To be honest.
Yeah,
Like,
I have a friend who he does a podcast, The Happy Hour, if you guys want to check it out. But it's after you listen to this one. Anyway, but
no, go check it out right now.
right now,
Tune
leave
out.
this podcast and go
Yeah.
listen to but no, he has a podcast in New York. It's pretty funny, but the camera angle, just because he was like a cheap bastard, it was like going up at us on the couch, and we would put our feet on there, and it turned into a feet podcast. Where like
Oh,
on the
wow.
Patreon we take our socks off, and that's like the
That's so
podcast
funny.
that you see the bottom of our feet like this, and it's just like the camera going.
Is
and
this
we
just
talk
this
about
one
anything.
episode, or this is every episode
Every
now?
episode, every guest. And
Wow.
by the way, I've done that. I got really bad reviews on my feet, but I think it's because I'm a woman. It's mostly gay guys looking at the gay men's feet.
Well, there is
On
a
his
Wiki feet.
Wow.
Are you on
podcast.
Wiki feet? Because I've
No,
heard that's
I'm
a big
not on
thing.
WikiFeet.
This is a thing.
I
Like,
didn't even know Wiki Feet was a thing.
it is a thing, and like,
Man, you went down a foot rabbit hole
well,
after
I
someone
no,
said
I
something.
only
She's
know
very
this
mad.
because improv people, or whatever, not stand-up people, improv people that I listen to. There's one girl, Lauren Lapkus. She was in that The Wrong
I know
Missy.
her, yeah.
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 She's very funny. Love her. And she always talks about how she's on WikiFeet and has like a 10 out of 10 on WikiFeet. It's like a big thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
I kind of want to post mine on Wiki Feet, see what happens.
I know. Are
I think
you
I got
curious?
good feet. They're big feet, long toes, finger-like. I don't know if that's good or bad.
That's
But-
what they like. They like the big feet.
They like the big long toes, though.
Yeah, remember Peggy Hill when she was doing the feet videos?
You're just
Like,
basing this off a cartoon.
No,
I
that was like
no.
'cause she had the huge feet, and she always like was ashamed of it. And then like this guy's like, "Oh, we're gonna do these art videos," and then she ends up like on porn sites and not realizing it.
Wow. No, I don't remember that episode
I don't
at
remember
all.
this at all.
I
Yeah.
have no idea.
Yeah. You're watching a different King of the Hill than us. Maybe not. I don't,
It's
I don't
just
know.
anime porn, King of the Hill, like so weird.
It's some
Hentai.
weird
It's
fan
regular
fiction that
King
he
of the Hill.
wrote.
Anyways, Jamie's feet's gross, and you're here running 30 minutes, and I
yes,
think that's
I
great.
am.
Yeah. Thanks for coming and doing it at the club. That's pretty
Oh,
fun.
thanks for having me.
Yeah. I think it should be good. I think we got decent crowds this weekend.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. I haven't really checked too much. I'm always nervous. I don't know.
I think the Texas scene, like especially the Houston comedy scene, I feel like people come out and support. I feel like it's
Oh,
good
yeah.
rooms, good
Yeah.
crowds, good
No,
like
no.
yeah. We're very cosmopolitan. We're underrated. Everybody thinks it's Austin. I think Houston.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like Austin, but it's just too much partying to me. I mean, listen,
Too much partying to you?
I know. Oh, I think you think I'm a party animal. I like to drink, but I don't like to party. If there's,
Huh.
you know,
Yeah,
like
you're pretty boring.
I like to do comedy, and then I like to get drunk with my friend at a bar, and that's my partying. It's like, yeah, I might be out till 4 a.m. drinking, but you know what I was doing? I was sitting at
At
the
the
bar.
same table.
I was
Yes.
At the same
exactly.
table for 5
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
hours.
think
It's
you
not-
have a reputation of being a partier among some people, which is funny to me because I see you as kind of like you're a boohoo boy. You're kind of an emotional in your feels, like
No, I just don't like to hang out with people.
Yeah,
I like who I
'cause you're
like, and
in
I don't
your
like.
field.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
look sad at the bar. You just look boring because you sit at the same table. Or
I
then
look
you'll-
bored,
then
not boring.
No, you look boring.
All right, whatever.
you're going to see an emo band tonight, right?
I am going to a concert tonight, so that's not boring at
Who's
all.
playing?
I heard you had a really good show last night, right? In
You
the
did?
big room. I heard y'all had a good show.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, we get a lot of stuff going to that club, and I don't remember. I mean, I wasn't there. So I don't
Friedman
know.
was working it. He said it was really good.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like to do a lot unless like a good friend. Like I'm going to this show tonight. The bands are fine. They're good. You know, this band called Bayside and this band called Finch, and they're like from my youth. You know, but I don't listen to either one of them anymore. But I'm going because it's like two old friends are going. And so I'm going to go with them and have drinks. But like I said, I like to get drunk, and then I just like to talk and hang out. I'm not much of a party person. I am a
like-
late night though. I'm a
Like
late
that
night.
exists in Austin now.
I don't know. It feels like there. It's like let's do a shot. Let's do a shot. Oh, let's go over here. This
It
thing's
feels like a
happening over
college
here.
town.
It is nonstop
Yeah.
over
yeah,
there.
It feels very UT, like shots. Like,
Yeah.
And 6th Street and that kind of a.
Oh, that's too much.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah, exactly. That's the
You're
thing.
not.
I don't.
You're
I
not
don't-
getting a craft
I hate
cocktail.
that, and everyone annoys me. I'm so annoyed by everybody. Like I'm annoyed by young people. General, just don't they annoy you? Like these like college kids are like the girls and the guys and all of them just like being messy and loud and shitty and I just want to beat them all up.
Yeah, I'm like 90 years old in my soul. You came out with my husband and I once, and we just like sit
That was fun.
and drink a craft cocktail and like.
We went to one bar, did that.
It's
We went to another
quiet.
bar where we met up with my friends and more of your friends, and then we all just sat at a table and drank at that table and got up to get drinks
Yeah,
and sat at
we
that
all
table.
fell in love with that girl. Your friend, like, that was like hanging out with your friend. I'm obsessed with
Oh
that girl.
yeah, that's complicated. She is sweet. That is a fun.
Are we allowed to talk about
I don't
this?
give it. We're not gonna say their names. I only know one of their names, anyways.
The details of this woman's.
She's married
woman's life.
to a woman.
She's married to
Okay.
a woman. His friend is a man that she was.
They
friends
all
with.
met. The three of them met at a wedding. The lesbian couple are in an open relationship. Now they're not even together anymore. Who knew?
Well, that's what always
Who knew?
happens with open
Yeah,
relationships.
exactly.
I could have
Who
told
knew?
you that.
But that's how they met. Is they met at a wedding. Is my friend was getting stared at by one of them, and which is crazy because he's not the handsomest dude.
Maybe
right?
he has a je ne sais quoi.
Like
Yeah.
he's very rich, and I think it just comes off that way. Like I think
We
you can
do like that, don't we?
you can just tell he's rich without. He doesn't come off like ooh money. I think that he has this vibe about him that because girls are so into him all of the time.
I love your impression of money, by the way, with ooh
Oh,
money.
doing this.
Yeah,
money,
right.
money. Yeah,
He
yeah,
comes
that's exactly
off
how it
as-
is. Yeah, but they were all at a wedding. They were staring at him, and then they left. One of them added him to Facebook, and then they're like, "Hey, we're in a relationship. You want to hang out with us, though?" And then
Okay.
they did hang out. This was in New Orleans. She's from New Orleans, and then he kept calling him. It was so weird because he'd be like, "Oh, I'm hanging out with my lesbians tonight." He would just call them his lesbians. I was like, "This is so fucking
Oh,
crazy."
would the wife also hang out?
They all hung out a couple times, but I don't think they all had a thing.
Oh, okay.
He had a thing with the one that the girl knew, the other one knew about. But it's fucking. I think one was more of a lesbian than the other one was.
Okay, so
I don't really know what the.
vein, and because of what May said, have you ever heard of an open relationship being successful long term?
Never, not once.
Not. I agree.
I'm trying to think of all the poly people. I know one couple that are poly, and they, I think, are still together. It's a comic, actually. Remember? I don't even know how much he still does comedy though. Remember the little, very short guy, like super short. Damn, not
I
midget,
remember
but
Britt did a lot of.
no, she was a poly girl, but she hopped around. Oh, we got to cut all this. But fuck! I wish I could remember this name, but I don't know.
And it
I
was
think
a
I
long-
maybe know one, and that I can't even for sure say yes.
I know of a couple that they were together for like 8 years, and then they both decided like, hey, let's do the open thing for a little while. They both hooked up with other people, and they were like, never mind, and then they closed the relationship again. And
Yeah.
they've been successful because they just had to like get it out of their system, and it was actually kind of sweet. I was talking to the guy, and he was like, I had sex with this other girl, and I just kind of realized like as I was having sex with this girl, he's like, I miss my girlfriend.
That's
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like,
so
oh my god,
sweet.
that's so nice.
I mean,
I
it's
think
kind of what happened with Jeremy
I could
and
imagine seeing that because it's like a thing where one, you're in a relationship, you get used to somebody, right? So
Yeah.
you like know all their quirks, you know all the like little bad things and the good things, and you know the things you like. Dating stinks. It's so not fun because you're learning what you like about somebody and what you dislike about somebody. And I can imagine if you're with somebody already that you're comfortable with, you're like, I don't have to deal with the fact that this girl chews with her mouth open so loudly I can't focus, or like anything. That's not even a good example. I should have come up with something
No, but
actually.
also you're just. I think as you get older, I mean, think about in your 20s, it was a little bit more exciting. At least I think so. But like the idea of having to like waste my time and precious moments sitting I can tell in the first 2 minutes of hanging out with someone, like if this is going to be a good date. And I remember when in that period where I was single and dating, like I just would immediately know that now it's not going to be fun. And now I have to sit here for the next 2 hours. I honestly think if I was back out there now, I would just only do like coffee dates and be like honest up front. Like you're handsome and great and wonderful, but I just I'm going to go now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to like talk myself into liking you.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that in my 20s. I would be like, this guy's okay, I guess. He has like a nice apartment. You know, like things
I
like
would
that.
keep,
I'd be like,
3-week stints and like,
yeah.
why did I even do this long? It's just terrible.
I remember, so I actually met Mark, my husband. I met him when I was on a date with another guy, and I did not like that guy. And then I
I've heard
messaged
that,
him. I messaged Mark the next day after I slept with that guy. And whatever.
Still have
Hey,
fun.
good for you.
And that guy was like texting me as I was seeing Mark, and that guy was like, he kept trying to meet up, and I was just pushing him off, just like hoping he took the hint. And then finally he was like, did I do something wrong? And I was just honest with him. I was like, you didn't do anything wrong. Like, we had a good time, whatever. I just met someone who like you were here and it was fine. It was whatever. But like Mark is here. And I felt so much more of a connection with this other guy. So it was like, I don't know. And I felt for that guy too, because he was probably like, what the fuck? I thought we had a great time. Like, we had sex. I don't understand what's going on.
Well, and that's the worst. That's almost worse, I think, than something being obviously bad when it's like nothing's exactly wrong. And then, so you just are like, you feel
you're like,
bad.
It's fine.
I would rather.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Like, you're great, but you're not great for me. You're great for someone else. You're someone else's
cool.
up here.
I got nothing against you.
I would want to know.
I don't have a lot for you either.
Like, wouldn't you? I feel like my feelings are going to be hurt if someone's like, yeah, I'm just not that into you. But also, like, I'd still rather know.
Yeah.
Rather than being strung along forever.
One time I cut it off with a girl and she goes, "But I'm hotter than you." And I was like, I know, isn't it crazy? Who knew that I'd be the one breaking this off? Like, I had no idea. So,
what did you
Bold of
actually
her.
say?
no, I literally was like, I know, right? Isn't it crazy? She's beautiful. She was. She's just vapid. I actually don't know if I used that word right, but she was. Okay, good. There wasn't a lot to her.
That's vapid.
Yeah. It was like, I remember going to her house and like, she lived in a studio. I don't care where you live, but there was like a inspiration board.
Oh God, okay.
And then there was like quotes that were like cut from magazines on the wall and stuff. And I was like,
she had a vision board.
Yeah, she had a vision board. She had like multiple like planner things on it was all like hopes and manifestation.
It's 9 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah. It was all manifestation shit. And I was like, if you're gonna do it, pretend to be a witch or something. I don't know. I don't think it's as fun. I don't know. I don't
it's
like
corny.
Yes, it felt corny the whole time.
I was gonna say, it seems like you do like astrology, like witchy babes.
I have a tendency of dating witches.
Are you gonna finally talk about your dating life? Because I
no. Well, right now it's non-existent. It's not fun. I mean,
is the dating pool in Houston small?
No. Yes and no.
Okay.
It's one of those things. Houston's huge, right?
Yeah.
So, but I think it's one of those things where a lot of people date the same people. Like, you know, I wouldn't.
Service industry, comedy.
Yeah, exactly. Like industry people, hip, cool, like people that are out doing stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, that's probably a smaller pool. You know, I'm sure you could go to the suburbs. You can, you can meet people, you know, anywhere that no one knows whatsoever. Mm-hmm. But then I'm betting that they probably have boring lives. It takes. I think I was telling you last time you were here. It takes a lot for someone to want to deal with the fact that you're gone all the time, right? And so you gotta like. There's a little bit of that, and then also you have to stay interested when you're gone as well. You know what I mean? And that is a lot when you only know each other on surface levels, right? So like once you know somebody, then I totally get all that makes sense. But when you're like
when you're married, I feel like that makes the relationship stronger.
When you're like, oh hey, let's go on a date. You go on 2 dates, and you're like, all right, now I'm going out of town for 3 weeks for a tour.
Totally.
See when I get back. Chances are you're probably not even texting when you get back because it's just been 3 weeks. They've moved on. You've moved on. You know, it's
you'd have to like consciously stay in touch. It would have to be somebody that you really want to invest in.
Exactly, and I think that's hard to get in like 1 date or 2 dates. You know? You gotta. So I don't. It's the fact that you dated a comic you weren't a comic then though when you first started.
Not when I first met him. And then I became a comic, which is like such a trope. Like comics girlfriends.
Well, I talked to him about it, and he said, because I asked him, I go, how did you, when you dated, I was like, you're on the road all the time. How does that work? Like, because I was like, I got no luck with it. We all move on. This is how it works. And he's like, she just got it. And I was like, well, that doesn't really help me at all.
Right.
but I was like, damn, okay.
Well, I think there was like 2 things. I think, first of all, he met me when I was like 26 years old. So I was just partying and doing whatever. Like, I didn't, it's like, oh, you're not going to be here this weekend? Okay, whatever. I'm going to go to the Box, which is a sex club. I
tried to go in London.
And shit.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, it's fun. Yeah. But I was like, I don't care that you're not here on the weekend. I'm 26 years old in New York City. I don't give a fuck. I have shit going on. You know what I mean? So like that was helpful. I think if I was one of these girls who was more of like a homebody, like I think if I met him now at 33, I would have been like, hey, like I want to like I want to go on double dates and shit. You know what I mean? So maybe I'm like, maybe you should date very young.
Maybe I should date a young
Maybe
person.
you should date someone in their early 20s.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
he's already doing that, by the way.
Who am I dating in their early 30s?
I'm not gonna name people.
I'm not dating anybody
I
in
mean,
their early 30s.
the
at
girl
all.
that
or
You
in
mean
general.
20s?
No.
Oh.
Who are you talking about? We can edit this
yeah, I
out.
was like,
Okay.
we're
I'm
not gonna
curious.
talk about this
Let's
now.
talk about it.
The girl with this piercing or whatever.
Oh my god, that was fucking 7 months ago.
I don't. To me,
Oh,
that's like
wow.
2 days ago.
We went on 2 dates. This is fun. We've talked about this on. This is actually funny. I love that this is on the podcast. This was a long time ago.
Can we talk about? Well, we
her.
shouldn't say a name.
Yeah,
But we can talk
yeah,
about her.
yeah. We can. Well, I told you why we stopped hanging out.
Well, and what about Gia? She's like 5.
She's my friend. We were just friends, dude. She is a 5-year-old.
She's
she,
5.
She
She's a
dates
total
one of
babe,
my
by the way. I
friends.
like this girl.
She hangs out with one of my friends. She's cool. She's just a friend though. But so the girl with the piercing, you saw us at a open mic or something like that.
I saw her
us playing
a
chess.
couple times.
Yeah, and then we went out on a couple more dates. I thought things were going pretty good. And then one day we're in my car. Well, no, we're in an Ubering back to my house. And we start talking about different things. Elon Musk comes up. I tell her that I have a Tesla. And I also, and she's like, he's a piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. And I go, well, what exactly did he do? Because I was like, he's like, he wants clean energy, blah, blah, blah. I'm not like, listen, I'm not saying I'm the biggest fan of his in the entire world. I think he's a dork. But I was like just having a conversation.
I feel like, sorry to cut you off, but I feel like it's a red flag when someone's not able to even have like a productive conversation about something like that. Because it's fun to sort of debate and go back and forth about something. Like me and Mark will have little debates about like, I don't know, Ben Shapiro or whatever. I'd be like, he's got a good point here, but then also like da da da, and like, it's just like a healthy discussion. It's not. I'm not basing my personality
100%.
on whether or not I like Elon Musk.
100%.
People do.
And it shows a malleable mind. It shows that she's not able to hold her own opinion to be true and have like certain things that he does be good and certain things that he does be bad. Like in her opinion, it's all bad because
100%.
the media's told her that that's how she has to be. And so to me, that just shows like a lack of awareness and like maturity.
Yeah.
Not to like blow it out of proportion.
No, it's
like,
okay.
really.
No, it's okay. It's totally, that's what it was though. Like we get back to my house and she goes, so I'm going to call an Uber home. And I go, I was like, hey, totally fine. You don't need to stay here or anything like that. But I go, I thought we were vibing all night and it was pretty good. And last time we hooked up, I mean, I'm like, at what point did you go, oh, this is fucked? I was like, is it Tesla shit, huh? She goes, yeah. She goes, this is just a lot for me. And I go, I just own a fucking car, dude.
That's
like, I was
so
like,
stupid.
But then I was also happy with it because I was like, this is just weeded it out early.
Yeah.
And then she tried to hang out a few weeks later and I was like, what, are you fucking high? Like, that's crazy. I would never.
You should probably ran it by a few people and they were like, wait a minute, he owns a Tesla?
Yeah.
That's kind of nice.
It was ridiculous. And the funniest part about it, she got so mad about that and then like was like, I don't want to hang out anymore. And then
She probably considers herself open-minded too, which is the funniest.
But here's the thing:
frustrating.
is the way I met her, like started like having conversation with her, is because I posted online and I go, "Hey, I'm looking for someone to help me edit some clips."
Oh, Maron.
She messaged me and she goes, "Hey, I would love to help you edit clips, right?" She and I was like, "Hey, well, let's do one or two to try." And then so she edited clips, and one was an abortion joke. One, there was like dark like. She should have seen some red flags if she was going to pursue me, and she wasn't good at it. And so I paid her for those and never used her again for any of those. But then we hit it off though. And then this whole Tesla bit happened. And, that was so long ago though. That was the last person I could ever expect you to have brought up.
I just vividly remember that because then I saw her on a date at Nancy's Hustle with
a girl.
With a girl who was the ex, who also was the ex of a comic.
Yeah, this is messy.
Wow.
Yeah. It's small world.
Wow.
Even the lesbians date other comics. It's all goofy.
It's a tiny. Yeah, it is a big city, but it is a tiny.
It's a small art community. That's what we were looking for, I think. Yeah, small art community, big city though. So you got to date out of your community if you don't want to have someone who's been with someone basically.
Introduce you to some like West U soccer moms.
No, I don't.
Kidding.
I don't know.
That would
I'm
be a
not.
nightmare.
I'm just not looking anymore. My thinking is, if it happens, it happens. That's great. But I don't know. I deleted all the apps and stuff like that, and so because that shit was annoying. That was like,
It's a full-time job.
dude, it's just like swiping, and then you're like talking, and you're like, it's all bullshit, you know.
Have you been to Tokyo, May? He's going to Tokyo.
I've never been to Tokyo.
Going
I'm
on
so
Sunday.
jealous. I've never
Very
been
excited.
That's great.
I know.
So, you
So
know,
maybe
child bride.
Yeah, maybe
Child,
you
why
can get a child bride.
Why does it have to be a child? They look young.
They kind of,
They
yeah,
could
I
just
was like-
look young. That's it. I don't think I have to go child.
You're like, they don't have to be young. They just have to look very
Yes,
young.
that's it. No, I don't give a shit if you look young or old. I just don't want to die alone, y'all. That's all I'm going for. But I will find a child bride there, maybe. We'll see. Wouldn't that be
Good luck.
wild?
That'd be crazy.
It'd be so wild. I was wondering this. If I found a child, I'm not really going to look for one, but let's just say situation, I go there, hit it off, right? And then
with a child.
No, not a child. No, all right, let's take the child out of this. Take the child out
With
of
a
it.
small child with
With
no
an old
agency.
woman, an old decrepit woman
Who looks 14.
who has a child. No, okay. So I meet a girl. Let's just say I meet someone over there, and then we hit it off, and all of a sudden I bring back a Japanese wife, right? We hit it off. We come back. We get married. She lives here. Doesn't speak a lick of English. What is the judgment there? I'm a creep.
Well, I would be like, in what way did you hit it off?
Oh,
If she doesn't
It's
speak English.
exactly what
we just
I
knew
said.
the body language.
The body language. That's one way to put it.
Yeah. We were talking with our eyes.
Okay, I love you, and I would
Does she have a
genuinely be
sister?
concerned
No.
for you. I'd be like, the sex is good, great. What about your heart and your mind? Like, I'm genuinely would be. I wouldn't think you're a full creep, but
I think
would.
it's a little creepy, maybe.
I would
Of
be
course.
sad. I would be sad for you. Like, there's no way that this is enjoyable to like hang with this chick.
You gonna have a conversation about Elon Musk with her?
Yeah. Well, that's my go-to opener now.
And by the way,
that
doesn't
weeds
speak
him out
a
early.
lick of English, so she can't get a job. What the hell is she gonna do here? Just sit on your couch all day?
I've dated people that have done less.
She's like, so like every girlfriend.
Being that
I've
she's
had.
No.
being that she's Japanese, she's probably gonna clean.
Whoa,
Is that a thing?
is that? Are
It's
they
a very,
clean people?
it's a very subservient
Oh,
culture
what was
when it
the
comes to
girl? What
marriages.
was the lady that got famous for like tidy or like organizing things?
Marie Kondo.
Marie Kondo.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
Japanese, right?
She's Japanese.
Get her in your life.
Marie Kondo,
Yeah.
never even heard of this person.
Age appropriate. I
She like
think.
gets rid of things that don't bring you joy. So she would probably go around here and be like, "That statue of Yoda does not bring me joy."
That's
Like-
Yoda?
Who
You
is
think
that?
that's Yoda?
it?
That's a gremlin from the Gremlins.
Oh, is this also
Oh,
a gremlin,
come
or is
on.
this
Yes,
Yoda?
also that's Yoda, girl Yoda, regular Yoda.
Sorry, we're not
That's awesome.
nerds like you.
No, you're right. You're right to think that, but that's fun.
Yoda.
Yeah, Yoda and girl Yoda. That's very fun. That's
Spark
great.
joy in
No,
that.
that's awesome.
I can't wait to meet her, your child.
Yeah, no. Stop. Why do you keep going child? I'm not. Anyways,
I
Because
got
of how
I got a video
uncomfortable
for you
you're
here.
getting.
here's the thing: is I actually don't have any. I don't have anything. That seems it would be so hard to try to communicate with people there. You know, I went to Mexico one time and I was like trying to talk to a girl who only spoke Spanish, and we were like it was impossible. And I
Do you
was like,
speak
"This
Spanish
is
at all?
muy
Like-
poquito español."
Oh, okay.
Very little Spanish. That's the only sentence I know.
I would say the other thing that you need to look for in a woman, though, because like when I first of all, 26, I had nothing going on. I was like, whatever, I'll just fuck around.
So find
And
someone with
then
nothing going on.
With nothing.
Young, nothing going on.
By nothing going on, like doesn't
Impressionable.
mind if you're out of
No
town.
job.
Like who gives a shit? And then like I had a job, I had friends, I was doing my own thing. And then when he was in town, it was great. When he wasn't, it was also great. But
May, you're casually talking about having confidence, and so many women don't. Like
Yeah.
young, old, like she's like, I'm confident in myself and in what and in my life. It's like that is actually very difficult to find.
listen, I was naive back then. I have no confidence now, but back then,
I was full of
confidence
hope.
was through the roof.
Full of hope.
But the other thing was that I really fucking respected comedy. I respected it crazy.
Yeah.
Like I respected what he did. I respected the hustle. I respected the fact that he was putting himself on the line. I respected the risk of it. All of it I like super respected, and I respected him. I liked his comedy. So like if you find a girl who respects what you're doing,
Nobody does that
that's
anymore.
good.
No.
I know, because that's the thing. Like I feel like I have a lot of guy friends in comedy that struggle with that, where they're like, I find a girl and then they're like, oh, like, I like that you do comedy, and then they actually see what comedy is and they're like, oh, this is like hard
Every night?
and you're grinding and you're like barely breaking even on a lot of stuff. And so they get like, they see what it is and they bail sometimes.
Yeah.
So you got to find a girl that respects the hustle.
I cut it off with a girl one time because I was like, hey, I'm going into this town to do a bunch of podcasts. She goes, oh, so you're just going to fuck around with your friends for money? And I go,
Ugh.
yeah, kind of. But fuck you. What the hell is that?
That's like the dream right
Yeah,
there.
what the hell are you
Literally the
talking about?
ideal way
Yeah,
to make
yeah.
a living.
So, pretty
It's like-
nuts.
No, I mean, like, what's better, that or being an accountant? Like, it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
that
what's it
sucks.
matter? At least
Yeah.
we're
As long as
doing
you're
this.
making money.
At least we're making somebody laugh, or nobody, but we're trying to. So,
Fuck that guy
what-
in the
I've
comment
got the
section.
perfect video for
All right,
you.
let's see this video you're talking about. 16 seconds. That's
so
what I like to see.
it's a guy in Japan. It went viral.
1.7
ago.
million likes.
God damn. Now I'm just jealous of the video. Isn't that sad?
With comedy, I feel like that.
You're like horse.
Host?
Horse.
Horse?
Horse.
You gotta log in.
Just spit.
That is your wife.
I think I found my wife. I'm not gonna lie.
What the-
Oh, come on, Mike. This is, you're killing
You're
us.
like horse.
Host?
Horse.
Horse?
Horse. Just spit.
See, look, they're getting it off.
I think I found my wife. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
just want women to laugh at their fake, terrible.
No, so that's the thing in Japan that they think American men act like horses. Like there's something to do with the way we speak. They say it's like a horse.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh, I wonder what
So
that is.
she's like saying you're like a horse. Like you're a horse, and
He thinks.
And he
that-
thinks she's flirting with him?
she is flirting with him.
Oh, she is?
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
Huh.
I mean, I'm not attracted to horses, but...
Hey, some people, some guys are.
I mean,
Remember that guy? Not me.
It's the
God damn it. You remember the guy. Pull up that video.
It's
Don't watch that
it's
video.
the thing when you know
You
when
saw
you go,
that video, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
everyone did.
You know when you go like pff, like that, like
Oh,
when somebody
yeah.
says that, and you're like pff, they don't do that, and when we do that, they think it's like a horse.
A little
going-
attitude.
you know,
you look
like-
like a
Yeah,
horse.
yeah,
That is something that like a stepdad would say. Be like, "Don't talk to me like a horse." Like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
You know? Yeah. That's
but
pretty
you can
cool.
just watch the guy instantly fall in love with that Japanese woman. It's hilarious.
She
That
was
is nuts.
cute.
Here, let's you know what? Let's do a mess of the week. Is that this one right here? Because this is a good
Yep.
story. I
Yep.
do know this one.
you
this
do
is
know
Hu-
that this
I
is-
know it. This is Houston, which is pretty great. All right, are you gonna read this? Who's reading it, or is it a video?
I don't think
That don't
they
look
have
like a video.
video.
Yeah, someone's got to read, Mike. I know you don't like doing it out loud, but it's not that long. There you go. That's pretty short. You got
Yeah,
this,
there's
buddy.
no video.
You got that.
I'm a
It's
great
like school
reader.
trauma once again.
It is.
Hooked on
No, I was
phonics.
the
We're gonna get
one
it
in
for
popcorn
Mike.
reading that would like read, and then I would pick the kid that couldn't read.
Oh,
Damn,
no.
that's fucked up.
I was a
The
bull-
popcorn reading was a thing.
I was a bully.
You could just bully and just pick the fucking guy who
But,
can't read next.
Three little rascals, one as young as 11, arrested for Houston area Wells Fargo bank heist. Three boys range in age from 11 to 16. A trio of tiny bank robbers dubbed the Little Rascals were arrested by the FBI Tuesday for allegedly robbing a Wells Fargo in Houston.
Oh,
Three boys
wow.
ages 11, 12, and 16 were charged with robbery by threat. The FBI's field office in Houston said, because they're juveniles, their names and no additional details will be released, the Bureau wrote in a post on X. Robbery happened at Wells Fargo in Houston. Images of the three babyface subjects were blasted out following the robbery last Thursday. All three were wearing hoodies and didn't look old enough to drive or catch an R-rated movie. Witnesses described the bank robbers as being between 14 and 18 years old, the FBI said last week.
Or catch an R-rated movie. I feel like the guy
That's
who
what it
wrote
is. At
this
this
was
point,
like
it-
he like loved that line. He's like, ooh, this is.
Well, I think
great.
it's because they can't, because they're kids. They can't really give too many details, so they just said the same thing like 3 times. Or
A
like they look
couple-
like kids. The witnesses said they looked like kids.
A couple of social media users made light of the knee-high heist. Sentencing will be 1 year no TV and a 3-page essay on why robbery is bad.
All right, Dad.
LOL, the Houston crime rings are certainly unique, another joked.
Huh?
Yeah, this
I think it's
journalist
11,
was
12,
taking an
and
opportunity to
16,
work on
dude.
his
Damn.
type 5 with some of these
11,
lines.
12, and 6. That is wild.
You know that was definitely the 16-year-old's idea. There's no way the 11.
What if it was the 11-year-old?
He's the fucking genius behind
Does
it.
it say anywhere if they had a weapon?
Yeah, did they?
No,
have
it was
guns
by threat.
I mean, look.
So they
if
didn't
you
have a-
saw,
they didn't
like,
have a weapon.
look at the one on the right. If you saw these kids walk in and threaten you, I would just laugh. Who called the FBI?
Well, guns, man.
No, they had no weapons.
The robbery was
You
successful.
can't tell though. Yeah. They probably just slid him a piece of paper
Yeah,
that
like
said,
they
"Give
robbed
us."
it. They got away, and then the FBI got them later.
Yeah, I could be wrong. When was this?
Got away on
This
what?
was,
A
the
bicycle?
19th.
Yeah, it's like 3 weeks ago.
I think. Did they do more than one bank or just the one?
I think it was just the one, but
Just the
but
one.
but it was successful, and they got away, and then they got arrested a couple weeks later. I think it was.
Yeah. Well, when you're that, you can't do anything that age and not tell somebody.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter. You murdered somebody, you'd be like, "Dude,
I've got
that's what we did this weekend."
I've
Like, you
got
think-
$14,000 right now.
Yeah. I don't think kids can keep secrets at all. That it was never like when I was a kid. If I like did drugs or something on the weekend, I instantly like told like 8 people on Monday. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
guess,
Of course.
guess what
I
we
got
did this weekend?
fingered.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I kept that like.
Yeah, I didn't tell anyone when I got fingered, but
I heard a story about a guy was at a bank, and he thought that the teller was like really cute, so he wrote her.
this was just on the internet.
He wrote her a note.
It's a
like,
comic.
yeah. Is it a bit?
God, I don't know if it's a bit, but I feel like it was like a comic on the couch or something like that.
Was it Stavros maybe?
No. It wasn't him.
But
I don't
like,
remember what
he
it
like
was.
wrote a note asking for a number, and she's like, like thinking it's a robbery.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. I wish I could remember what that was. It's probably a fucking famous podcast, and we're just recapping
Yeah, we're just-
other podcasts.
We're just
at this point.
regurgitating
Yeah, that's
Joe
fun.
Rogan right now.
Yeah.
I feel like this kind of shit is not that shocking in Houston. New
Oh.
York as well too, but I feel like shit happens on the sub. Have you been
Houston
mugged
is so
before?
hood.
I've never been mugged. No,
Robbed?
There was no.
What's the
never.
difference? Is there a
Actually, yes,
difference
I've been
between robbed and mugged? Someone just steals. Mugged is
Well,
like physical altercation.
We had like a break into our apartment,
Ooh.
and somebody stole a bunch of cash that Mark had in
a giant
drawer.
wallet, dude.
That is extra creepy because
Yeah.
the idea that someone's been in your space
I
is
know.
so scary.
And it was like in a really nice neighborhood. It was crazy. Good. And I came home from a party. I was wasted, blackout drunk. And I come home from this party, and our fucking coffee table was up against the door. And so I like had to like push in the door. And I'm like such a fucking drunk idiot. I was like, wow, that's weird. And then I just like sat on the couch and like took off all my clothes. I was in my bra and underwear. And I called Mark, and he was at a show. And I was like, how weird is this? The coffee table was like up against the door. Isn't that weird? I was like, it must have like a ghost or something. He was like, no, bitch, we got robbed. And then I like went into our what's it called? Our bedroom. I'm so drunk right now. I've had 2 glasses of wine. But I went into our bedroom, and like the window was all fucked up. Like all the blinds were like all broken and shit. And everything, like clothes were everywhere, and they just opened up this one drawer that he kept all of his cash in. So they just like didn't even come in the other room, basically. They just like went in there, found the drawer with cash, and then left. So I had this theory that he talked about the cash on a podcast or something. But I guess he didn't. I don't know, because it was a random person. It was actually this homeless person that I think in our
Did
because
you
they
have
caught them.
video cameras?
Yes, they caught them.
They caught him.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then they went
Get
to
any
jail
of the
for a
money
while.
back?
No.
Damn, he
Did
already
they go
spent
out
it.
the window?
Yeah.
Well,
And
he was
thank goodness
homeless.
that they
But we were on the first
gone.
floor.
So
Like,
what if when you got home,
He was there.
already there,
I
and that's
know.
why he pushed the thing up against the door?
Yeah. I might be making this part up, but I think they were transgender. So technically it was a
Clip it.
I might be making this part up.
Yeah, don't
but-
make any judgments. Women can do things too. So.
Because I remember seeing this one homeless person walking around like a lot, and then all of a sudden they were not right after they got caught, and I was like, oh, it must have been them.
that person.
I don't know. Because
It was a guy first when they first saw him, but then after he
Yeah.
stole that money,
Yeah.
I do
came back,
know-
it was them, and
He went
really-
straight to Macy's and bought a dress.
That is true in big cities, though. I feel like in your little neighborhood, in your little zone, you get to know like your homeless people.
Oh yeah, and I get
on
worried
it.
about them. If I don't see
Yeah.
them for a while, I'm like, oh no, what happened to the lady that's sometimes a lady, sometimes a man, sometimes not? Like has a sign out sometimes that says different things depending on the day.
Yeah, it's like charming. There was one guy who used to always hold up a newspaper near my work, and it would be like this close to his face. You know, he obviously wasn't reading anything. And then every day when I went into work, he would ask me if I was a lawyer, and I was like, still no. Have a good day, sir. Like just a charming, like sweet homeless person as opposed to I'm
Menacing.
gonna rob you when you're not in your home.
We had a couple that would come by the club, and we would like help. Like we'd like, hey, if you take out the trash for us, we'll give you money or whatever.
Oh,
so,
that's nice.
So we had a couple people like that, but then like word got out, so more homeless fucking people started coming,
It's
It's
and
like
then
a cat
and then
that
we're
you
like
feed.
open. We had like a homeless guy with a cart laying out in front of the entrance like during business hours, and we're like, dude, come on. And he's like, I don't give a fuck. And then we have this other homeless guy who came by. He was, hey man, I'll handle this for you. And then he walked over. He's like, get the fuck out of here. And just started screaming at the other homeless guy. He's like, my bad, my bad. He gets up and he leaves. He goes, you can't fucking be doing that around here. This is a business. And then he comes by. He's like, can I get $20? I was like, okay.
You had those like lot people in the parking lots all around Secret Group that
Scammers.
were trying to get everyone to
Dude.
give them $20 pretending they were parking attendants.
They're wild. Houston's, there's always people grifting in Houston, baby.
I got mugged in D.C. when I was 16 years old,
Damn.
and then it happened right outside of ESPN zone, and so I just like ran inside, and I was like, that guy just mugged me, and then the bouncers went out and like got him, and then they like took the money from him, and he only got me for $40, and they handed me $2,000,
Hell yeah.
and they were like, is this how much it was? I was like,
Yeah,
that's
that's-
exactly how much it was.
So it's the best thing that's ever happened. It's
Yeah,
great.
that's
Oh,
pretty
the
good.
rest of the night was great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I don't think I've never been mugged before. I think I've been robbed. I got robbed in Vegas on my cell phone one time. I was drunk. It was very late, and then and I should have just known better. It was like late, and I'm sitting at the bar, and this like girl started like talking to me, and I was like, huh. I'm drunk. It's 3 a.m. I was like, I can't believe a girl is like interested.
Vegas?
In how I'm so looking back. I'm like, the way I fell for this is so stupid. Just because I was drunk and I literally was like, oh, a girl could totally be into me right now.
Yeah,
like I
yeah.
assumed like this was a possibility. And so
I mean, it's a possibility.
it
Like,
is, but I don't remember them being drunk. But anyways, this is what happens: is they come up, they start talking to me. I got my cell phone, I put it like kind of on the bar. I'm just talking like this, and then I think her accomplice pukes right next to me, just fucking vomits everywhere. It's like, "Ugh," and I was like, oh god! I like stand up, like, what the fuck? And then I look back, and she's gone, and so is my phone. And I'm like,
Wow.
oh, damn it! Pretty
You think
wild.
This
That is the
person
most
went-
complicated.
Yeah, it was like they actually threw up on.
This is what my looking at the puke, it wasn't like I didn't like examine it. I was pretty drunk, you know. I just saw stuff coming.
You said like a
it could have just
mouthful
been
of
a
water.
mouthful of
Yeah,
water. It could have
mouthful
been
of
whatever.
water. Yeah.
I just saw a drunk person next to me puking. I got up and go, what the fuck, you know.
Wow.
And then they grabbed it and they walked away. It took me a minute to even realize what was going on because the bartender was like, oh shit, and they were running around to the security's coming, like there was all these moving things happening right then, and then my phone was gone, and so was the girl, and so was the guy, and I was like, I got fucking hosed.
Was it an iPhone?
It was an iPhone.
Why would anybody steal an iPhone? It just turns into a brick as soon as you report
Well, what
it.
year was it?
Not too crazy long ago.
Okay.
So you're right, where that is probably the case. But I still think you can sell a bricked iPhone for like $100 or something instead of $700 or something like that.
Well, my friend Kelly got her iPhone stolen at my wedding. Remember?
I know. Yeah. My drunk ass was like, I'll help you guys go. And then like halfway going to help them get it back, I was like, this is probably a bad idea.
Yeah, we're in fucking New
We're
Orleans.
drunk. We're in suits and dressed up nice. And we're just
Yeah.
trying to hunt down your cell phone in New Orleans.
Terrible.
Horrible idea. But they got it back. So
They did.
Kind of worked
Yeah,
out.
from some
weirdly
crackheads.
enough.
She had to pay like $100 for it or something.
Yeah. Everyone just wants $100, dude.
Yeah.
But if these three kids approached you, would you like even? I would just be like, no, you can't have my phone, or no, you can't. I don't know.
Those kids would beat the shit out of you.
I'd be
No,
scared.
A kid is
Yeah.
more like these
Three
kids are more
rascals,
likely to
dude.
kill you than an adult.
Yeah, kids don't.
They
kids,
don't have the part
don't
of their
think of
brain that tells them
consequences,
to.
I guess.
Yeah.
They don't have that
Yeah.
going on in their head. Like you, like if an adult tries to rob me and I go, "Hey man, you're not going to take my money. We can fight, and we're just going to have to deal with it like that." A guy, I think half the time would be like, "Understand? They're not going to do it,
Who's
right?"
trying to rob you without a gun?
I don't know.
That doesn't.
I
Happen.
don't
That doesn't
get it.
happen. People aren't just like, I'm going to fight you for your money.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying. I don't know. Whatever, dude. Whatever. Bad example.
At least a
it's
knife.
all hypothetical.
At least a knife.
I would fight someone with a knife
You would fight if they pulled out a knife. You would still fight them.
over giving up my wallet for sure. Especially give up my
I
cell
would
phone.
say
Insane.
goodbye. Yeah, I would
No.
give them my shoes. I don't care.
Nah. First of all, You ever like read about knife murders? That's what they're called, knife murders.
What's your point that you're gonna make?
Yeah,
It's really hard to kill
it's-
someone with a knife.
It takes like 50. They're like, this lady was stabbed 50 times, and she was able to crawl to the neighbor's house and
Yeah.
and died 4 days later.
It's
You know what I
either,
mean?
it's
I
either
still don't
one
wanna be
extreme
fucking-
or the other. It's like you got nicked, like right here, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you're dead, or you got stabbed 50 times and you live.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
like
Yeah,
no in
yeah.
Wait,
between.
you don't want to experience that.
I don't think I would get stabbed. I don't think. I don't think people are out there. I think people. I think
Tell
people
that
that
to London.
people that are robbing people are, for the most part, just trying to get the money and go. Right?
I
They're
got
not trying-
stabbed
When did you get stabbed?
at the engine room when I was 15 years old.
There you go.
What?
Why? What'd you do? You were in a fight. You weren't getting
I put a
robbed.
tattoo over it.
You were at a rave.
No, it was a metal concert.
Okay. What'd you do?
I got in a fight.
Who'd you get stabbed by? You guys know the night. You guys
Some
name?
like 40-year-old dude.
But
and I was
maybe
like
he's
15.
making the point. Like 15, you don't.
That's-
you're
you're
not
making the
thinking
point.
about
You
what
don't
you're
think.
doing. Yeah.
That's your fault for trying to fight a 40-year-old, you psycho.
Did you have to go?
No, he was the one that was like being all crazy.
Did you go to the hospital and shit?
No, because I snuck out. So my
Oh.
parents didn't know, so my friend sewed it up with a fishing line.
Jesus Christ.
Was your mom
still got
like,
a
why do you
scar
have a
from that?
stab
yeah,
wound?
but then I put a tattoo over it, so you can't really see it right now.
Damn, this is all fake.
I heard
What
in
a
New
lie.
York that there are like men. This may be way overblown. There are like men going around punching girls in the face.
It's actually not overblown at all. There's like
this is happening.
this is happening. There's like
It was a
tons of girls-
Republican.
Was it?
Yeah, it was like some crazy Republican black guy or something.
Kind of makes you
Is
like
that
him
what
a
it
little bit
was?
more.
Yeah, it was
I know
one
they
guy
caught-
that did it, all of them.
Oh, because I thought they caught another guy. There's like copycats maybe or
Damn.
something like that. But it was like a thing. I think some comics got punched. But then it made me skeptical because I was like, comics
There looked
are
like
always
there,
looking
there
for
looked like there was
press.
some fake TikToks up there.
Yeah.
I don't forget what pod I did, or I did something where they were like, they pulled up all the ones who are like, do you believe this one or
Yeah,
not? And
yeah.
I'm like,
It was
nah,
all
maybe not this one.
Like
I don't
allegedly
know.
Bethany Frankel got punched. I'm like, give me a break, dude. Bethany Frankel's not getting punched.
She just
he
wants
specifically
constant
punched
attention.
people that were recording themselves on their phone, and he like there was like something where he like freaked out. He's like, these fucking bitches, like just walking
Instead of punching a
around
Nazi, punch
so
a fucking
so
TikToker.
you know, all in their up their own ass, and just
Yeah.
start punching them in the
I guess
face.
that makes a little more sense why so many comics got punched then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You make it. It does like. You don't want a guy running around punching women, of course. That's bad.
especially homeless.
But when you
ones.
hear the logic,
But-
when you hear the when you hear the logic about it, you're like, I mean, I wouldn't punch him, but it is annoying.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
This
you're
The
like-
thing
so
Andrew
you're
does a
like-
lot. Like he'll like do this like statement that's like for his like he's like I'm a liberal cuck, like a progressive, and I love women, and then he's like bitch, like that's what you hear constantly.
That's just a word. That's
But they
okay.
belong in the kitchen.
No,
I
come
would-
on.
you-
They
I
I
would
can't
would love
cook.
to go in the kitchen.
you always like set up your statements with this like I'm a good guy.
No, I don't think
And-
so. I think I've shown on this
Speaking of
podcast
my
that I'm a
child
piece of
bride.
garbage. Yeah.
Tokyo.
All right, you're gonna make it awkward when you meet her.
Well, no,
when I bring her
She's not
home.
gonna understand her anyway.
When
so
I was gonna
nice.
try. I thought this would be better if I had a Japanese name, but I don't know a Japanese name to even call her, so I can't even make this any more fun.
okay.
I'm a little too high still. I think.
what do they call those
Yuki?
passport bros?
What are passport bros?
It's like guys that are tired of American women, so they get passports and they go to places like Colombia and Japan and
Talking
then
about
they
90 Day Fiance?
No, they're called
I
passport
love that
bros.
show so much.
It's so good, isn't it great?
I don't think I've
so
watched.
good.
Is that the one with the short guy with no neck? That
Yes,
dude.
yes.
Yeah, I only like
But
that version.
There are some people who you love each other, and it's like very obvious the math on that, and they like met in the country when somebody was doing their like birthright program
Yeah, I
for
was
6
thinking of the
months
same
or
exact
something.
people, yeah.
My
But then-
sister tried to get on the show.
The
Really?
obvious opposite.
Yeah, she met an Indian blackjack dealer on a cruise ship.
Wow.
But they
Are
met
they still
in-
together?
No. They were together for about 8 months or so.
Meeting in person is a good sign. Meeting
Damn, that's
online.
longer than your marriage.
Ba-dum, ba-dum.
Okay, should we? I feel like
I'm gonna
give
look
out a
up
little bit
common,
of advice.
common
let's get a little
Japanese women
advice.
names first.
Okay, we're gonna look up common Japanese Yuki. That's a thing.
Yugi.
Atsu.
Akari,
I like that
Aki,
one.
Ana, Eiko, Ai, Akane, Chio,
You trying
I
to
don't
read
wanna-
these
I gotta be
is-
honest, I wouldn't
is-
want-
Asuka. There you go, Asuka.
That's a good one. I think that's a famous comics name.
Yeah, it is.
She's great.
You know what that
killer.
means in Russian though?
What?
A bitch.
Damn.
Suka.
Suka.
Suka means bitch.
Wow. I had no
Prison
idea.
What
bitch.
am
It's
I
not it's not
supposed to?
about women. It's about.
Do you speak Russian?
No, I
He
just
speaks
know
prison.
a lot about
Oh.
prisons.
Prison. All right, who's this guy?
Whoa.
What is
Oh,
this?
that's Florida Man.
Oh, that was from last time
That's
or
the
something?
spaghetti one.
Oh, okay, all right, here we
You
go.
were so excited about messes of the week and specifically Florida Man. So I looked up.
Great.
Every time we should do the Florida Man.
Yeah, they're fun. They're fun. Do you want to give out advice? What do you want to do? You want to?
Should we give out some bad advice?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Read up.
Short and sweet on this little cringy one. Okay, so I can't help but deeply cringe every time I hear my husband on the phone referring to his parents as mommy and daddy. He only does it when speaking to them or his brother. For example, what's daddy up to? Can you ask mommy to do X, Y, or Z? I just feel like it's a bit of a turnoff. What should I say to him?
Yeah, that's pretty.
Are
gross.
they Southern?
I don't know.
Deep-
Does that
deeply-
matter?
Deeply Southern men will call their dad daddy, but not their mom mommy.
When they're like
when they tell us,
40?
yeah, when they tell,
Yeah.
they'd be like, well, my daddy, he always like. That's,
Yeah, you're
that's a
right,
thing.
I guess.
But that's only
Maybe
like,
this guy's
for
ju-
the daddy. It's not. It's
Yeah.
not mom.
What
not
if it's a
mom thing.
gay guy? I think that's fine. And maybe he's just annoyed his brother's gay or his wife, his husband, her husband. It's a
No,
husband.
I-
I'm stupid.
I don't think that's fine.
It's fine if it's a gay guy. It's like, what's daddy? Oh no, you're right.
That's
that's
maybe
weirder.
worse.
You're right.
Maybe worse because
You're right.
gay guys call each other daddies.
Or just
right.
let someone have a healthy relationship with their parents.
No,
Like,
mommy, daddy's not okay.
Yeah, this is so not relatable to me because I'm from Chicago and my parents were like, my mother has always said, you call me mother. Like, I call my
That is
mother
like the
mother.
That's even more
It's such a
psychotic.
It
it's
is
such
psychotic.
a red
Cold.
flag.
But
right
it's
there.
like,
That's
it's
so
why I feel
cold.
uncomfortable at La La Land when they say I love you. I'm like, even she doesn't say that to me. You don't say you love me. Like, it creeps
It's
me
not
out.
out
So,
loud. It's crazy.
like, yeah, that is insane.
Yeah.
So to me, this is like I have an extra strong bias against this. Maybe that's why I just like I feel it deep in my soul. Like that would
That
it
is
would
weird.
Be like
You gotta
bounds
confront
for
it.
breakup early on.
It also seems like it happens a lot, which is another red flag. Like, why are you even talking to your parents that often?
It's creepy.
You know what I mean? Like once a week, if that.
But also, if
Via
you're
text.
if you're married, right?
I've
Don't
never-
you like whenever I date someone, don't you just like razz each other? I would
Yeah.
never ever let that go.
Yeah.
I'd be like, this is so weird. that you do
I
this.
one time dated a girl that wore a jacket that said "See you never" on the back, and I brought that up for like 3 years. So I was just like, all right, see you never, and I just do that every time. I would never let go of this. This would be a thing I held on forever.
Is
Yeah.
that the same brand where they have the one that says "I hate everyone" on the back?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I think it
it was just a
is.
dumb
Yeah,
jacket.
that is a great point. Like, it is weird the idea of being in a long term. Like, this is her husband, and you're not. Yeah, you're just being polite to each other. That
There
is
must be some
weird.
strange power dynamic going on.
Yeah, you don't.
Like for him to get away with that, he must be making all the money or something.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
I
I
feel
would
like
shame. You would shame. I would shame my partner
Yeah,
so much
that
if
is
they were
so
like mommy,
normal.
daddy. I would shame them.
Actually,
Yeah.
I talk
He's
with
probably
Jeremy about
rich.
this all the time. I'm like, he'll say something, my friend is going through this or that. And I'm like, he didn't talk to his wife about that before they got married or, whatever. They like disagree about big things. He's like, I don't think people like talk to each other.
Yeah, I feel like some people don't. I mean, whatever. I feel like I know some couples that I'm like, I cannot picture the two of you going below the surface. I really can't. Some couples that are like married, I'm like, I don't think that you two know each other.
So are
Oh,
they
yeah,
just
I
like,
can
It's
see that.
weird. I don't know, but maybe
I have a
that's
couple
me being a
friends that
bitch.
now that you're saying that, I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I think they are.
But
like
is
I
it, like,
can't see them
ignorance is
opening up about
bliss?
feelings.
Yeah.
But they'll be like, you
ignorance
like
is
this
bliss.
band? That's true too.
So I think I go too far the opposite way. Like, I'm such a raw nerve. So like during my husband and I actually had that. We didn't have an open thing. I would just never do that. We're both a little more. We're kind of traditionally ish adjacent. So, but we broke up and we were dating other people. And when we got back together, eventually, we literally went over everything we did with any person.
God, that's
Oh.
crazy.
It's in,
I
and
wouldn't have
I would
done
by the
kill
that.
myself.
We
I
think
would
it's
never.
normal. We're such raw nerves. We say everything to each other because I'm like, I came from a sweep it under the rug family, so I'm like, I'll say fucking everything. But I get this reaction from people. When I tell other people, they're like, "Are you insane? What the why would you do that?"
No, could not.
But
Yeah,
now
Nope.
Couldn't
it
be
does
me.
feel like everything is just like out there. It's like
I don't want to. I could never. I
I
don't
made
want
that
to ask
mistake
someone's
one time.
number. I don't want to
kinda
know about it.
I
I
mean,
don't
I
want any of that
I
shit.
see your point because like your imagination is worse than the truth, probably.
yes.
Yeah, because then you're. What would hurt me more is like, did you actually like any of these girls?
Oh, for sure.
You
That
know?
is, if you think we didn't have that conversation
Yeah.
too about every, I mean,
Like, could you see yourself with any of these girls, or were they just like essentially
what
blow
if-
up dolls to you?
What if
you
one
know?
of them was? What if he was like, well, one of them, but they weren't that into me, and now you guys, what
Oh.
would you do? Would
I
you have been
think
able
he
to be
would have
back
been-
together?
So he's one of the smartest people I know. I just don't think he would be smarter than to word it that way. And he knows me really well.
Yeah.
But there was like, for example, one of them.
So you guys aren't necessarily telling each other 100% full truths.
One of them-
In this story.
What if it was like
Well-
Scarlett Johansson?
So it's funny that you say that because that's not really his type at all. But he did mention her once, and I was like, that's so weird. He never is into like blondes.
Scarlett
He's kind of into
Johansson
like
isn't his type.
he's into more like dark, exotic, like that vibe. I'd be more jealous of someone who was like
Black.
that, like an Adriana Lima
Like
or something
Persian
like
or
that.
something,
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, point is like he did actually. I remember one of the girls he called like HFB hedge fund babe. She was really smart. She worked at a hedge fund, and I was like, I'll never. That hit me more because I was like, I will never be
Yeah.
like running a hedge fund, you know.
Yeah.
So
Nor
yeah,
would you
that
want
shit-
to, but that's in this hypothetical scenario, that's not really the point.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like those are the things that like get me more. But I can't fathom being in the type of relationship. But I am jealous of it, and I think that like maybe it is great. Those people who just stay like, I don't know, we just watch movies together and get drunk and like we never talk about
Yeah.
our shit. I just can't. I couldn't do it. I'm way too tightly wound.
Yeah. Those couples do seem, I mean, from my perspective, they do seem like happy though.
Like chill.
Yeah.
They just
They're just like, we have our dog, we have our house, we just like exist.
They just
that is
exist together.
amazing.
Yeah.
I think New York, and you can correct me on this. I think New York's got to be a place where, and I'm definitely not talking about you, but where I think that people are, because it's so hard to live there and expensive.
Yeah.
I think that people do get complacent in relationships. Like I just know a couple couples where I'm like, they've broken up, they fucking whatever,
Right.
and then they're just like, we live together. It's very
half the
expensive.
rent.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
Matthew Broussard has a killer joke about it, right?
Yeah.
So he has his like, but I do think that's an actual thing
Mm-hmm.
because I was talking to someone last time I was in New York, and she had just moved there a few months ago, and I was like, "How's the dating life? How's it been?" And she goes, "I gotta be honest. Every guy I've dated here is so busy with trying to survive in
Right.
New York that there's no connection. They're always busy. We can never get it going." And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, "Huh, what a weird, wild way to live."
Yeah. Joe Gorman actually has a funny joke about that too, where he's like, I love my landlord, I mean girlfriend. And so he
Oh,
goes
that's
on like this
funny.
whole
That's
thing or
great.
whatever.
Yeah.
But they, him and my friend Kelly met, and then like 3 months later they were just living together because like it just happened to be like his
Yeah.
lease ended. She had a really good deal, and they were like, let's just give this a shot. And 3 years later they're still together,
That's pretty great.
which is great, which is an awesome relationship, and they're awesome. But she was like, this is such a gamble. This is such a New York move to just be like, come on in, pay half the rent.
And I'm
Like-
sure
Yeah,
there
yeah.
are nightmare situations where people do move in early in the relationship and then they're like, we're breaking up, but we're like staying. We can't leave this apartment.
Definitely.
So you just have
Definitely.
to stay like roommates after the breakup, which would be wild. But I do think people try to maintain, like, think about, somebody in Sugarland that's like traditional and they go to church and they have 3 kids and they're just trying to maintain and they're staying complacent in their life too.
Yeah. I
You
mean, when
know?
I was
It's just different strokes.
Yeah. I think there's when I was married, I remember spending about a year and a half, 2 years just trying to maintain, like not
Really?
really be like I was out of it already. My brain had like
Oof.
gone horrible. And then I watched. We went to the movies. We would just go to the movies all the time and get drunk. Those are the 2 things we did.
You don't have to talk to each
Yeah,
other.
exactly. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
It was. But we went and we fucked up because we went and saw Revolutionary Road.
Oof.
What's that about?
It's Leo and Kate
Kate
Winslet.
Winslet.
It's basically this couple that are young
so good.
and
It's
in
so
love,
heavy.
and they get married, and it's like a wonderful relationship, and they're talking about traveling and having this whole fucking life and not being like everyone else. We're artists and cool and blah blah blah, and then they find themselves living out in the suburbs in the house like everyone else lives in, and then it's then they're cheating, and then there's a whole abortion, and it's a whole thing. It was also
And you're like, art's imitating life.
yeah, totally not. And so we're sitting there, and we lived in the suburbs.
Except for Youngblood didn't get the abortion.
That's true. I did kept it. But we were sitting there in Spring, Texas, watching the movie, living in one of the neighborhoods, in the house that looked like everyone else. And I remember watching this and going, "Oh, I'm getting divorced."
Oh,
So it was like,
no!
I remember that was like that was the first time I was like, I have to get a divorce.
Wow.
Yeah, I literally that movie I watched it and I go, I'm gonna kill myself if I don't get a divorce. It can only get worse. So
That's so
I was like the
scary.
exact opposite. I was like, I'll just hold it in until it manifests into a heart attack at
and then
55.
she's like, "Bye, Mom." Yeah. So
It is weird how those things, like, I do feel like that's strange with heavy things, how when you're in it, you don't really, like, realize it, and then one moment, like,
Yeah.
can flip the thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was the moment. I'll never forget that movie as long as I live because it was so wild.
Oh, that's so
Pretty nuts.
sad.
Yeah, kind of.
That's so dark.
It's a little
The
fucking-
best thing that could have happened ultimately, right? Like, it's what needed to happen.
Oh yeah, for sure. Of course.
Like, you could
I
have,
couldn't
isn't
imagine.
that better than staying in it and you realize that 20 years, like, I've been not happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is weird when you get into those fucking toxic, bad relationships. Your body does this thing where you kind of just check out. Your brain does.
Yeah.
So you just check out. I used to call it zombie mode. I was like, I remember getting yelled at because the dishes weren't done or something. I was like, okay, and I would just not even
Yeah.
care.
Autopilot.
Yeah, autopilot. That's a good way to do it. Anyways, this has gotten depressing.
No,
We
I
can't-
love these kinds of
we can't-
conversations, so I don't give a shit. I love it so
Yeah,
much.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just glad we didn't talk about the Nickelodeon documentary.
We
again.
never
Oh, yeah.
really helped the mommy daddy situation, but I think
Oh yeah. We got to what? Don't do that.
It sounds like they're in an unhealthy relationship in general, that she doesn't feel the agency to be able to say something about it and joke about it in a healthy way.
just fucking actually get
Get
a
a divorce!
yeah. That's crazy.
I
Get a
feel like the
divorce.
advice
Why'd you get a divorce?
that you guys give is always just like break up with them, divorce. It's never like look inward. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe you're just overreacting.
You know what? That's a
maybe
good
this
point.
guy just has a loving relationship.
We
with his
openly talk
family.
about how we give out bad advice. We're literally we're
And
giving
also,
advice, but you
Andrew
don't
and
have to
I
take
are
it.
cunts. Like, I feel like we are just gonna be like, if you are asking us for advice, we're gonna probably just mostly make fun of you.
Yeah. But this one's weird.
So write in.
This one's just goofy and weird. I
It
don't
was
know.
a short
it's a
weird
thing.
one. We
And
can do.
Mommy, daddy, look.
And that's why it's called the mess hall, folks.
There you go.
Yeah.
Here, let's push our things. You know, that's what this is called.
Hell yeah.
Well, you got the special coming. Do you have a date for the special
I
yet?
do
or
not
you,
have a date coming out. I also don't know where it's going to be.
you gotta,
So I have a few different... You'll find it if you follow me on Instagram. I will post where it will be, where you
Do you
can
have a
watch
name?
it, and when it's going to come out. All the way May.
all the way, man.
Because it's a lot about being slutty as a youth and life before having kids. Is
Mad-
like what most of the jokes
Madonna's
are
character from A League of Their Own.
Yeah.
And what's
Yeah.
your Instagram handle?
My Instagram handle is May_Planert. I am on the other apps, but I'm not really active on them, so just follow me on Instagram, honestly. I also have a Risky Business News podcast. It's basically like news stories, shit like that, with Laura Sogar. I think, has she been on this pod?
No, she's not.
Anyway, she's great. Follow her too.
She's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and May is spelled Mae, right? I feel like that's
Yes.
unique. I always think about that when I see your name.
Yeah. People think I'm
Mae.
Asian before they meet me, and then they're very
May is
disappointed.
maybe I'll go find a Japanese May.
Your own May.
You do, yeah, MEI.
Ooh.
Ooh. I don't know
Jamie-
if that's Japanese or Chinese.
I don't have no idea either. We're all none of this matters. No one
Just-
listens, so we don't get canceled.
Okay,
Just
good.
follow
And
at the
we're-
Mess Hall Pod.
Oh yeah,
At the Mess Hall Pod, and yeah, just please watch Andrew's special. I'll say
yeah.
that.
I was about to say it.
Write
so
a terrible comment.
any comment works, please. At No Youngblood on everything. AndrewYoungblood.com. There's a link to the special there. There's tour dates there. Please check it out. And then my new podcast, the Secret Group podcast. Also check that out. I'm
And
not
come
leaving
to
you,
shows-
Jamie. It's okay.
Come to shows at the secret group.
Yeah. I don't know. This isn't going to come out. I don't even have one lined up at the secret group for me for a while.
No, but you own the club. Come to all the shows. They're great. Music and comedy 7 nights a week in
Look
Houston.
at that. This is the first
Hell
time we've
yeah.
ever pitched the club on the podcast. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, we should.
We've been
why
doing it over a
haven't
year.
we?
I don't know. I don't think I like to talk about it because I like to think people don't know I own it, and then that's nice because as soon as people find out I own it, they're like, "How can I?"
I introduced him as the owner of the secret group.
Oh, that pissed me off,
in
dude.
front of a line
I
of
didn't
comics
piss
that
you
kill
off. I know.
Tony.
And I was
We're all
like,
just salivating.
I know. I was like, I grabbed him. Was like, never fucking do that again. As long as you live. Anyways, thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.